your strategies are more technical, how does that how do you I guess find your research for technical, or is it mostly based pattern based?
For myself,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of experience, like just looking at the charts. I know that that sounds like a dumb answer, but so like as far as like research goes, there's only so much that like that will replicate itself, meaning like um a bearish engulfing candle, are there like simple terms? I could pull it. Actually, I'll show you one of the resources that I used when I was first starting and I didn't like know anything as far as technical goes.
Okay.
We also have resources in the Mighty networks as well that
Mm-hmm.
cover just like the general basis of like technicals. Let me pull it up though. Baby
So,
pips.
like other than experience read, was there any other things you had to do to find that edge?
Yeah, I mean, I did have some courses that I took and I
Yeah.
learned that way, but I think back testing is what really helped me identify the patterns and charts. Like they really, I mean, charts, candlesticks is what I'm trying to say. Like
Mm-hmm.
the candlesticks are easy, and that's what I mean is like that's the same all across the board. But the patterns was also something I just end up I learned from a course, but I actually was identifying it all along. I just didn't know the names. But now like I realized that the names are just they're all the same. It's
Mm-hmm.
and to me I just summed it up into ascending, descending, consolidating. Just three major patterns for myself. And that's helped so much. But here's baby pips. I'm gonna put it in the chat. And to me that you don't need to pay for any course to teach you like the basics of patterns and the basics of candlesticks.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's how, and again like I said, just back testing is what really refined um pattern identification and candlestick identification.
Yeah, and to kind of add to that, with back testing, meaning you have a thesis, a trading idea, and then you want to put it to test, see if it's gonna actually work in the market. So, what you can do, since there's tons of data that, or yesterday's data, trading prices or whatever, you can test years back, even decades, and really put that idea to test and see whether it is profitable or not. And so that kind of gives you a start on figuring out, okay, what works for you, as far as technical or
Yeah.
fundamental. Last week we were just talking about buying into a recession, and if that was a strategy that a trader would use. And sure enough, we had 11 recessions since 1940 something, 48 I believe. 11 recessions, and every time from those recessions we've ended up with a higher market. So yes, you would have made money if you were to buy into a recession, but the question is, how much do you risk, how much do you leverage, and then how long are you willing to stick it out, you know so I hope that adds some clarification on
Or
that.
like, yeah, just a little to add to that for back testing specifically. Imagine there's only 365 days out of the year, and as far as trading days go,
It's like 240,
yeah,
220.
200 something. But with back testing, you could put 1,000 trades on within and go back in time. Like Ben was saying about that, is like you could put hundreds or thousands of trades on and learn that way. You expedite your the learning curve. You don't have to wait 280 every 280 days or years, in other words.
Yeah, so lots of
I also like Thinkorswim on demand. You can actually see price action from different days, so you can see how it moves without putting anything at risk, and you can play paper trading.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Technology, that's what I was just going to say. Lots of
Mhm.
resources with different
Can
technology.
you repeat that, Sam?
All right.
Let
So
me
I
share.
use,
Let me
there's
share.
other platforms that do it. TradingView, Thinkorswim is they have a on-demand trading where you could pick a certain day and it'll replay that day's price action, and
Correct.
you can
Oh,
get your strategies working.
So Cherry, right here I have Thinkorswim up right now, and it's just on a random chart. At this top right corner, I have there's this on demand button, and
Ah,
what this does when you click it, um, you can set a date, right? You can choose, oh, what happened? Let me see if I can trade the crash in COVID, and then I can select the date and the time. I don't know if you can see that. And then from there, I'll hit go. And then what it does, it loads it up. And then, so let me just find a quick chart, better example. Let me go March 11th. See if that works. Okay. And then I'll zoom in to like a 5 minute so that you guys can see. So this is a piece of back testing. If it loads, let's see if it loads. Okay. So what you see on my screen is that I just have a March 11th, 2020 chart of the S&P 500 or the E-mini. And what you're going to do is say you do have an idea and you want to put it to test. And so what you're going to do is with this record, like replay, it's like an instant replay for the market, but through this platform. And then you can go fast forward and see. So, you know, you could just like put a drawing, be like, I want to enter here, and then fast forward it, and then you let the market play out. I think TradingView is a little bit smoother as far as doing this. It's like watching film, you know, in a way. So lots of different options out there. Let me just stop this.
Yeah, I'll show you how TradingView does it as far as back testing goes. So cool. Let's see. Let me just make my charts a little nicer. Okay. Share screen here. So this is TradingView. Wait, make sure we send this out, guys. Get people in. All right. So TradingView. This is a 15-minute chart on odd USD. And so if I wanted to go back, I would just click this bar replay or replay button and then just choose a date and time. Let's say I want to go back June 1st and it'll erase the forward data. So now I am caught up only to June 1st. It's not showing me any other future data. And so the way I was able to just begin to identify patterns, I just began to draw in lines because I felt like that was the most natural to me. I just I'll just walk you through, like, this is me. I would start drawing what I saw as support, resistance, and then I start drawing, is there any patterns here? Like, I'm not really seeing patterns, but if I had to draw, it looks like this one. Okay, so we broke out of a pattern. Now let's fast forward a little bit, you know? Okay, so it's dropping back down. Okay, it's dropping back down. It created a new high. So I'm just gonna readjust these lines here. So we're back into this ascending pattern. So we're in a bull trend. Again, this is only the 15-minute. So more like a bull run, but if I'm only looking at the 15-minute, it is a bull trend. So now I'm just gonna keep it playing until I see something nice. There's really no patterns here. This could be a tight ascending channel, but no clear momentum here. It's just kind of consolidating. Let's see. Could also just press this play button, let it play out. Analyze, take a moment to analyze. And so look, I went from June 1st to at what, 3:30 to 5 p.m. So I didn't have to wait around all day. I could just fast forward it. Let's see, it broke below here. I like that. It's going up. So let's just let's see. Let's make a fake trade here, or ghost trade, phantom trade. This is just using the short tool in TradingView. Let's see what happens. So it's gonna just continue. Is it gonna break above? We are in an overall bull trend. Let's just try. Let's see. And this is how I learn like what works and what doesn't work, you know? So let's see what happens here. Do I get in? Okay, I'm in. Okay, so we'll just target this here. And then, you know, you'd go into your journal, like how long, what time did I enter? Okay, 11 o'clock at night, it entered. how long was I in, how much profit. This is, if this was a live trade, it'd be a 1.5% risk reward, take profit. Okay, let's see what happens here. So this one didn't go, but I want to keep that on because I want to log like, okay, I did place an entry here and it didn't go through. Place the second entry there, it went through. Let's go for another one. Let's try to get a loss here. So let's say I wanted to, it broke above. So I wanted to press a buy signal. Let's see what happens if I can continue on. So I would get in, and luckily this trade's still working out in my favor. You know, let's just say I hold it. I don't even try to get out of it. Just press play, see what happens. So it's dropping back down. So I'm still in this trade. Maybe I want to close it here. So let's just close it. Close it here, move this up. And there I would have lost. So I'm out of the position if this was, if I did do that, if I held it. But you see, that's the whole point of like back testing is like, okay, if I held, if I just captured here, then I wouldn't have to take this loss. And that's like the whole point of back testing is learning and refining, like when is a good time to buy and sell according to you. So this is just like a sample of what I did. And if I just exit out of the bar replay, it'll take me back to the current time, which is, so it looks like right here, July 19th. There you go. So we're back at the normal time. So that's it. That's
The
a sample.
backtesting feature on TradingView, is that with the free account or you have to pay for that?
Yeah, so I'm not too sure. I think you actually have to pay like the minimum subscription service. So let's try.
Yeah,
let's try look. Good question. Good question. Yeah, that I don't think that's a free service, but what isn't, I know for sure what you have to pay for is one, multiple time frames, and of course historical data. So like if I went back 2 years, I would be okay. But if I wanted to try to go back 10 years, I would have to pay for that data. So it's kind of a give or take. I think what think or assume you could go back decades, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, so I think it just depends. Oh, like the 5-minute time frame and a 15-minute time frame, I can only go back like 6 months or something like that. It won't let me go back a year or 2 years or something. But I mean, it's honestly, it's been a while since I've personally back tested. So but let me see.
So tonight's call, we're going to be doing a Traders Lab call. We're going to be checking out some charts here. Before we dive in deeper into that, it's good to just be aware when you're approaching the market. So Sundays, we do our watch list, send it out to you folks, kind of prepare what's out there. Not necessarily take trades, but see what's going to be coming up, if there's certain formations or announcements or meetings that we got to be aware of. And two, well, for me, this week I'm in the middle of moving, so I know my mind's gonna be there, right? Mental capacity, mental capital. That's something to take into consideration. So that I know that I can't put my full focus on trading right now. I'll probably run one or two trades this week, just so that I can get whatever I need to get done. Because if I do try to go with my normal big list or whatever, watching 20 markets, then I'm not gonna be there. I'm probably just gonna do unnecessary trades, lose money. So that's something to take into consideration when you're approaching the market, because life happens, right? Things happen, so we got to be able to adjust quickly and do that. The other thing I want to bring up was when trades are running, say you do like, for example, the euro was breaking down last week. I did not take any entry, but I'm still watching it. So I want to, maybe we can look over it tonight and see if there's a potential move to be had. So that kind of sets the tone for taking care of the FOMO side. If you're missing out on that entry point from last week on the euro, especially, and then making sure your mind's right when it comes to trading. Reed, you got anything else you got going, adding on to that?
I could definitely relate to moving. When I moved to this location specifically, it was right before COVID, and but I was trading a lot, and I actually was in a little trading slump. right before I moved. But moving and taking like the 2 days that I needed to sort myself, I just let my trades run, and it eventually running in profit. So I mean, it could work in your benefit. You know, sometimes being away from the charts, being away from the trade and looking at it and managing it is sometimes the best thing you could do as a trader. You know, just stepping away and let the trade do its thing, let the market do its thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get into it, man.
Let's go. Let's go. You have the pricing up right there for Trading View
Yeah,
Pro.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Shared it in the chat, but I'll
Okay.
just cover
Sweet.
it for anyone that's rewatching the replay. So
Yeah.
this is Trading View, three plans, and right here you'll see bar replay on intradays. This is the $9.95. This is the basic paid subscription, but it seems like you may have the bar replay availability, maybe just on the daily. I'm not too sure. Oh, it says right here, basic. Okay, there you go. So you don't even have to pay for it, but you only get the daily, weekly, and monthly. This is the basic Trading View, the free version.
Freebie. Okay.
So
Nice.
it's possible to just back test without even having to pay for anything with
Yeah.
Trading View. So
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
that's it. That's it.
Love it. Love it. So let's jump in. Let's jump in. Right now, I am currently long micro S&P. So let me just go back, zoom out, show you guys what I was looking at. So this market, similarly with the other indices, NASDAQ and the Dow and the Russell, we've been on a nice downtrend with a deep pullback. But over since, let me see, middle of June, we started to get into this range here. And so for this particular market, we're ranging at the high of 39.50 and about the low of 36.70. So that's about, that's almost 300 point range. Big range here. This is a daily chart. And so this is what, I like to do when I'm analyzing. I zoom out. Sometimes I just go weekly sometimes. And right now this is the Tradeovate platform that Topstep partners with. Good platform. This is a cloud-based platform. I like it so far. It's pretty smooth. It has the things that I need. So you're going to see the DOM on the right side here, depth of market. So you could just clearly see the ticks. Pretty straightforward. 4 ticks in the S&P equals 1 point. So tick meaning 0.25. So it moves in quarters here. Then you have your list down here. So this market, what happened, even though we had this big range, so when you have this bigger range, you can capture these smaller moves here, these smaller swings. You got to swing short here, and then you got to swing long, swing short again. So let me just go ahead and draw some lines here. Let's see. Got that. Kind of what Reed was showing earlier, looking at the market environment and just understanding, hey, right now we're trading in a range or consolidating or sideways market. You're gonna hear us say those few different words. We trended down, but we failed to make a new low, from the previous lows of the 16th of June. So we haven't made a new low since. We touched it. We touched the about 37.40 a few times. You got this strong rejection here, this hammer type candle. This is on a daily chart now. So say we were well into this range. There's a lot different moves to be had if you are able to use this type of strategy. So meaning these swings. So I zoom out. So this is the hour chart, right? So we got our ranges here. Big range, 300 point range. Price bottom, you can see from this bottom left here, made a low, retested it, or sometimes you can call it a double bottom is what you would see. Then price pump back up, try to pull back. Yes, these are deep pullbacks. So if you were trying to go long here, you might have got stopped out. It's not the cleanest. but it did. I would just let this initial move play out, right? Stay on the side, and then let it establish itself in the range. You know, I before when I was, a few years ago, I would try to catch every single move, and that just led me to digging myself more and more deeper into the negative um, capital. So let the market make its range. So it tested here about 3 times and it got rejected. And then on this breakout, this was I think I trading this one? Maybe on the Nasdaq I went short. So what I saw was that it had a short consolidation over here, priced, rejected, so you're putting all your pieces of information together. On the daily, we ain't going nowhere. We're really just going sideways. So I'm zoomed into an hour. I know I have this daily level here, and price is reacting. Price doesn't always react, okay? It's a caveat. So, but you let the market play out. Then I saw that it was consolidating around this range, the smaller range, and then price decided to break back down. And so, it's a good opportunity to go short, much cleaner than the initial move up on this first leg here. So it'll be a good opportunity to go short. Um, like I said, I think I caught one of these moves on the Nasdaq. I think last week. This was at the end of June. So probably this second or one, two, three, fourth leg here. So price bounced back, moved this way, tried to touch that previous range again, and then so I went short last week, and then I got wicked out of this one, this nice long wick, because it's a big candle. So for this one, 38.60, 100 point right here. So that happens, so you just let the market play out, wait for it again, and then it was approaching that previous range that I saw, and so I just stayed out of it. And so knowing that too, right, price can break out of a range, or in that it eventually does. So it's with the patience, with the discipline, just waiting for the proper setup. I went to go enter at 39.19, broke a previous high, and then on top of that we had a strong close on a 4-hour above the previous high. You know what I mean? So we had a previous high at 36.37. Nice strong close today on it. So that's a strong, for me, that's an indication of a breakout with a continuation. Yes, I could see price will probably come back down and retest maybe this level of 39.37. There's that saying, when price breaks the previous resistance, that previous resistance becomes the next support, in a way. Not perfectly, not to the T, but generally you gotta come with a few, just give it some room and some play. So with this trade, I gave it enough breathing room. So the current trade has risk on it, but I'm gonna let that trade play out. I will give up the paper profits because I want to capture a bigger swing here. And that's just according to my trading plan, my trading strategy. I'm not going for the small profit here. So I'm anticipating it to just come back a little bit down. I don't know how far. I mean, I have my stop here, and I'm gonna let the trade play out, going from there. Good, guys. Any questions so far on that? Hope I didn't go too fast. It was clear.
Yeah, I mean, I had questions like, but you answered them as you were explaining. So sometimes it's just best to shut your mouth
You
and
know?
let the teacher teach.
Oh man.
Well, what was the question?
My question was when he placed the trade. That was pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. What day? And then he said like 13th. Yeah, Glenn, the original one. I see
Yeah,
that
so
wick you're talking about, that heavy one.
yeah, I got wicked out of that one. So yeah, my newest position I entered beginning of today, um, and just letting that thing play out.
Another add to that. Resistance becomes support. I always was taught like it's a line in a sand. You know, like when you draw any line on any chart, it's a line in a sand. It'll always go through it up and down, or like waves. You know, if you draw a line in the sand, waves will wash it through. It'll go through, but sometimes that line will stay there, like in parts. So it's a good way to interpret it.
Yeah, yeah. Not all levels are the same. Um, they always a general rule of thumb I kind of go by is bigger time frame rules. So meaning a weekly support or resistance should hold up stronger than a 5 minute. It's not going to be perfect, like I said. You're going to give it some breathing room, but there's going to be more of a clear reaction to that level, whether it is on the support or the resistance side. Cool, cool. I do have one more.
Yeah, sure.
Let me go jump in. Think or swim here. So Euro USD broke it down. So I like the weekly chart for this one. Similar. I zoom out. Zoom out. Same concept, right? Draw a previous low, previous high. Now each bar is a wick. I mean a week. So this is dating back. This low was established in 2014. So that's how far we're going back. And then we got the previous high, 1.25, that was established in 2017. And the Euro USD pair was just trading within this smaller range. Now you can see that we have broken this level, this previous low. When did we break it? On the 5th. So May 9th we broke it. Pop back up. See, like I said, with when you're drawing levels, right? Like this was a weekly level. Price did break through, but it did somewhat react, right? So as some sort of support. It was a brief support, came back down, tested it again, reacted, pumped up a little bit, just to come back down. And so when that thing broke, so you could see this weekly wick. Let me zoom in. So when the support breaks, it becomes a previous the next resistance, right? So it broke on this bar, but you see this wick right here, this bar, tested it briefly. So it broke the support, became a new short-term resistance, and then continued its way down. This is a weekly chart, so maybe we could see it better on a 4-hour. So you can see right here it probably tested it here and then almost wicked, touched it right here before breaking down. For this particular move though, what I like to do to see if it's still a valid short, because look, we had a 1, 2, 3, 4-day bullish run, but it made some, it's kind of a big price jump, right? So I would be cautious with entering in a short. Say if I was entering into this short last the 5th, so after Independence Day, enter short, you're in profit, only for it to come back up to probably your initial entry. Um, so after a longer holding period, you're like, oh, dude, I have no profit. So, it does a little bit to your psyche. Now, if you did have a trailing stop and you're just gradually moving it, say you're moving it towards this, according to this Keltner band, I wouldn't exit it at 1.009. So those are different options. But like I was mentioning, I'm looking. I believe that it might still have a bearish trend, right? We might touch this previous level again and then come back down. If not, we'll probably be ranging as well. I don't see this thing popping back up. That would be the least probable um, trade or price action with this particular pair that I could see, unless something really drastic happens. I don't know what that would mean, what that would be, but as far as price action, that's what we're paying attention to. That's what we make our decisions on. It's price action. We have a few, or one or two things that'll play out, or two scenarios. That's what I see.
Uh, yeah, can I add to this one? I
Yeah.
saw like July 4th, and I kind of just wanted to share volume and like how it works. So we're coming off of a weekend. Off of July 1st is the Friday. Coming back on July 3rd is the Sunday that market's open. But you could see how compared to the rest of the market, this is my hour right here. I'm gonna make this a little bigger. So this is the hour on EURUSD, and the volume is relatively low compared to if you look at the left and you look at the right. Volume's low, and because the American market is closed, and so we just see small volume. And then on July 4th at night, this is when the pound begins to open. Europe begins to open their stock market, and then we finally see volume come in. So this is around 9. Let me move this so we can see. This is around 9 o'clock, 9 to 10 o'clock at night. And so that's something to just consider during important holidays or events that's coming up. Uh, it just shows, it reflects in the charts that there's not a lot of volume, not a lot of traders trading on July 4th. They're enjoying their holiday off, and then price comes in right in pound with euro, or the euro, I should say. But yeah, that's just something I observed. How
Yeah,
it's on the
volume.
daily, it's such a small doji.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, minimum price movement there.
Minimum price movement. So yeah,
Yeah,
that's just something to consider. If you wanted to, like, let's say I wanted to go short here, you'd have to be holding it. I mean, that's okay to hold it as well throughout all of that. But it's just dependent on the type of trader you want to be. Some people, they can't hold it. They'll be looking at these charts, waking up and down, not realizing like, oh, maybe it's a holiday. So that's just something to consider when placing trades.
sweet.
That's all. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm looking at these next few days, just because of I haven't uh, analyzed my charts yet.
We did yesterday, man.
Yeah,
What
you're
weekend we're
odd.
on. That's
Or
about
two
it.
days ago.
2 days ago. Right, right, right.
But there is movement. Like, I'm looking at odd USD. I like how it's going long. I'll just talk about it, what I'm looking at as I'm going over the charts. So this is Australian dollar versus the United States dollar. I'm seeing that on the daily, it's an overall bear trend here. So we're in a bear market. But what I do notice here, so if I'll draw in a chart, this is a descending channel in a bearish market, and that's usually a reversal sign to go long, or at least a temporary reversal to go long. I also see a support area here. Since that's a support, now it's broken through. This could provide more resistance. I mean, a support for it to go long. So I like how it's looking on the hour. It is making higher highs. If I draw it just recently here, this is the most recent high on July 8th. So I would probably draw here. So I like that. I like how the support is above my EMAs. The 4-hour. I like how it's closing.
Yeah. I like that chart on the 4-hour. So like if you look at the consolidation area on the 13th, you box it around the consolidation area, you see it break out, come back, retest
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah,
the
this
resistance
area, yeah.
becomes support, and then you can see it bounce up from there. Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Good catch, man.
Yeah, nice.
Nice.
Were you able to get into that one, Sam?
No, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't watching any of these. I was just watching your charts, and I seen that. I was like,
Yeah.
just ways to identify bullish reversals.
Yeah, and
Yep.
I love to point that out, right? You see how quick Sam was. He wasn't even watching this particular market. He just saw Reed's screen and like bang, through the experience and the time spent, he was
Yep.
able to just point that out, you know. And
Yep.
so like
That's,
I got my
that's
camera
definitely.
blocking his 4 hours, so I couldn't see that.
Yeah, I like how it broke through. If I was really observing this trade like a hawk, this would be a quick reversal profit to just kind of sample here. It's always easy in hindsight. So just keep in mind if you're on social media and you're looking at other traders make bank, right? It's always easy to go in here, draw it in, take a screenshot and say, look at my profit, guys. Look at my winning trade here. So easy to go in hindsight. This could have totally gone in on reverse. But, if this was a trade that played out, this could be part of your journaling, part of back testing. Like, oh, maybe this was a mistrade. Let's see how many times and how much of a probability this is for my strategy myself. So this could have been a play now that I'm looking at it for myself, but let's see if it did. Yeah, it did show our broke a higher high. So I'm going to sync this so we could get a better picture of what I'm thinking here. So probably let me take profit. My take profit would be this level here, the most recent 50. 200, sorry. Sync and layout. We're going to go stop profit. Stop loss profit. So this is the profit target right here. And I'd be out for 1% if I didn't let this get in my way psychologically, because this is just a temporary resistance. Uh-oh. I'm frozen.
Frozen, bro? What?
Oh, okay, there you go. Hello?
Good?
I see. Okay, cool. I see you guys moving.
Technology.
But yeah, so like this is just something like in hindsight I could see, but that's all hindsight. So let's look at the market right now. I like how it is creating a higher high. It's broken above my EMAs. 4 hours showing strong bullish momentum here. Currently, the volume's a little low.
Yes.
So I wouldn't want to place an entry immediately, not a market entry. But I don't like how the EMAs are in my way, my 50 EMA on the daily. So if anything, if I did get in, it'd be a quick in and out trade. But I don't like quick in and out trades, at least not in this current market. But moving on. So like this is something I may be looking at. I wanted to show a little bit more bullish momentum here. Let's see. One thing I am looking at, I like Euro odd. I'm looking at Euro odd for a short entry here. So my entry would look like, so this is a consolidating area here. Beautiful area. I like how it's just shaping up. This is the 4 hour. I'm drawing a circle in.
Boom.
And then, if I really wanted to clean it up, I would probably put it support. Support resistance, just the area. This is the area that it's in right now.
So when this market, for example, like the candles are really wicky, they got tail ends on each side. Does that have any influence in your decision making whether to take this trade or not?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just gonna sit and wait. I want to see more solid engulfing candles. I want to see really strong momentum, like basically these type of candles on 11th of July, but about 5 of them continuing on. That's what I would.
Yeah.
What
if you use like your volume analysis, you can also see each time it does trying to break up, it does it at reduced volume as it's setting lower highs.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, good observation.
Like,
and in volume, this volume indicator is something I just started incorporating, I want to say a year and a half ago. And I realized it helps me trade a little bit more cleaner. I'm not taking dumb trades. If I see strong wiki movements, but then the volume is low, I'm like, oh wait, that doesn't make sense to actually enter the market. So yeah, volume is an indicator that I began to use, and it helps a lot in saving money.
Yeah,
But this is
like
something I would like to see happen, short like this and get into it. Now, like when I draw this, don't think I'm limiting my trade to only 0.58 or 0.4. It's just more so for my entry level. Like that's where I want to enter, and this is where I would want to stop at this immediate moment in time. And that's always, the market's always changing, so my stop loss will always be changing right before I get into the market. As far as my entry is usually a solid, right below a low wick, or just where volume. Because the thing is, I don't want to place it similar to this, because look, I could just get whipped out. So I want to make sure that my entry will be lower for a confirmation. I want the market to confirm this move. But I mean, if it does go, like we're looking at a nice profit here down to the 1.43165 level on Euro odd. That would be nice, but could be whipping. It could consolidate all the way down in a bear trend. So that's another term, is bear consolidating market, or bearish consolidating market. But I am liking that. It broke out of this ascending channel. So I drew this one line, and this one line to me represents an ascending channel. So this is really what I'm seeing here, an ascending channel like that. So that's and it's broken down out of it. We are seeing a bear trend, or bear run at least. Popped up, lower low, tried to get higher high, tried to continue on, but fell back below. And here's another ascending channel. Yeah, it's been broken here, or at least, yeah, an ascending angle that got broken.
when it's in the channel, do you take any trades while it's still in the channel?
No, that's
No?
a no. That is absolutely
Good
no.
to know that.
I just. Oh wait, like within this channel, you mean,
No, yeah,
or within?
on your daily, you got your ascending channel lines there. Are there opportunities to be had in those channels?
Oh, like this, you mean? Oh, within the channel. I see what you're saying.
Right.
It depends on my intradays, but as far as like this, I stayed out of all of this movement here. I
Yeah.
did not like it. I was looking for a short here because I like what's powerful to me, and it's a high probability trades, are when let's say this is a descending market or a bearish market, followed by an ascending channel. To me, it's in a continuation short if it's not going to create a higher high. It's basically creating a lower highs. So that's how I would get into this trade. Oh my goodness, I'm clicking so much and so fast that my computer can't
even
keep up.
handle you.
Dude, I need to take it a little easier now. But this is like really the main one I'm looking at. Glenn, Sam, if you guys want to share anything, Cherry, is it cherry or sherry? Let me know.
It's like the fruit. Cherry.
Cherry shoots.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you have any questions, anyone, or if you guys want to share something you guys are looking at, I'm gonna just continue as whoever's talking. I'm just gonna peruse my charts, scan my charts, and I'll let you guys know if I see anything that I'm liking.
Pull one up real quick. So this is the mini natural gas futures market. Of course, gas has been in the news for quite some time. This is the natural gas market that is included in the futures, not the gasoline that we put in the cars.
That's crude oil, right?
No, the natural gas.
No, I mean,
crude. Yeah, the one that
crude is like the stuff we put in our cars.
Right. So that's represented by CL.
Glenn, is it dropping? Please let me know gas is getting cheaper, bro.
Tell me that. No, so this is a weekly chart. It is making a way lower. We hit a high of 123. We're currently at 99. But there's usually lag between the futures market and the actual pump price. Right? So going back to the natural gas market. So this market, it's cyclic, right? It has its moves, it has its times. So this is one of the markets that, like, when I think back in 2019. It was one of my biggest trades to date, because I simply was paying attention to it at the right time. So just from afar, if you zoomed out, you see these big peaks. So starting from the left, big peak, and then we're coming slowly coming back down, and then followed by another just big peak. Demand is high, then it comes back down, followed by these smaller ones. Then it just shoots up again, and this was the trade that I was able to catch, and that was like a personal record here. I think I did a review of this trade in one of the posts in Mighty Networks, but that was so it just shot up, and then the amount of volatility or the big bars was able to take me out. And then I want to point it out. So volume was low again, all the way from 2018. Had some short burst here, but it started picking up. Let's see, last year summer, 1 year ago, started picking up again. Now noticing that it has cycles, that could be a helpful piece of your analysis when you're going in trading this market. So it started broke a new high, and then price continued to ride up, made a nice peak, and of course it dropped back down again. So like you can play this market out a few ways. You could ride the wave up, right? Knowing that, like, I could tell you it'd be hard to try to catch it at its peak. You're gonna have to wait for it to drop down a little bit and just capture the middle. And then you can trade the counter trend measure where it drops drastically down. So let me zoom in here. Where was it? So okay, this was the June pop last year. Continued up. This is a weekly bar. Nice big wick here. Price continued back down. Had a long doji, and then price tried to touch the previous high again, and it just collapsed its way down. So what we're seeing with this recent move that probably started back in March this year, new highs, right? Made a new high of 9.67. This has an immediate drop. All the demand fell back down to 5.3. So I'm sure a lot of positions are probably getting stopped out on this big bar beginning of June. But look at the price action, pumped up again, tried to touch the previous high, but I think this could be a play here where you can go short counter trend on this one, knowing the previous historical price action. The structure of this market is what I'm trying to say. But if, like I said, most of the time this market's kind of slow. It's not as active as Forex. It's not as active as the S&P or NASDAQ, but moves will happen, and so you just got to be there when it does. So that's something to point out. Gold still has been short. It's been on our watch list. Broke out. This was a good consolidation example. So I have my lines here. Some people call it the box method. You just highlight your consolidation phase, and this is a nice example of a breakout. So price closed lower on the 30th. So let me zoom in to 4 hour. Zoom in. So price dropped, closed, and then previous support becomes resistance. Look, we had a test a few times. We tested that level of 1811, only for it to just fail again. Not enough strength, not enough demand up here for the buyers, and so we just continue to fall off. Oh, zoom out. So this is a nice runner here. It's making probably in its fourth ATR move here. Made a low of 16.95. Where will gold go? Right now it's bearish. So something to look at. We are approaching the previous low of 16.95. Oh, we touched it, so we're hovering at that low that was established last year in March. So the next level below that would be 14 or 1500. Um, gold is known to be drop to these levels historically, so that's something to be watching. Um, and it's not always gonna go straight down. It'll come back up. It's gonna you'll see your paper profits go away. But if you hold out, or if your plan is to ride that trend, then you could totally be profitable there. Great channel summaries, yeah, awesome. We'll definitely check that out.
Oh yeah, that's good. I like that. I'm checking it out right now. Turtle Trader, cool. Buy and hope is not a strategy. Buy and hope approach. Cool. Yeah, thanks for that resource, man.
Some of your books. I was like, oh, you own good collection, man. Did it
Bro,
have
I was gonna say,
Jennifer?
whoo. I never know you as an author, bro. I'm just
I buy my ebook now. Get these massive gains.
Let's go.
Buy my Discord.
Right. Right.
I'll show something I like. Dollar Swiss. I like Dollar Swiss if it wasn't in a consolidating type of market. So if we look at the daily, so I like just this pattern alone. If I was only looking solely at this 1 hour, I would see that, okay, didn't create a higher high test on the 13th, the 14th, and then just an hour later. Then it began to decline. Then it broke below my EMAs. Then we have a crossover, and now it's creating this consolidating pattern after a bearish run. So I like what I'm seeing here. If this was the peak of it and the daily offered more evidence that this could go to the downside, this would be an entry for myself. However, this is why intraday or multi-time frame analysis is important. This daily right here is just it's a mess. It's not really trying to create a higher high, and it's not really breaking. Well, it did break a low here, but for me, my EMA on the daily is in the way. I want to see more bearish momentum. I like the volume. Volume's low, but we have some bull bars that are trying to take over, but it's not working. It's a really small volume. So see, this is bad because now I'm convincing myself like, oh wait, this might be a good short. But that's the thing, when the more I look at it, if it's not saying enter and it's not screaming at me, I'm not going to do anything. So this one is, again, standalone 1 hour, I like it. 4 hour, possibly, I like it as well. But just this daily, it's in a range for me. This whole range, this is a big range here, and I needed to either continue on forward, retest this 1.00460 area, or continue on and make a engulfing lower low, breaking below this 0.95308 area. So I mean, that this is something that that comes with time too, is multi-time frame analysis and knowing how to interpret the data. But I do like a few. I like dollar CAD, but kind of similar concept. It did create a higher high, but how did it create a higher high on the daily? It has a solid rejection followed by some bearish momentum here. So again, I'm just gonna keep this on my watch though. But we are in an overall like bull trend here. It's just creating higher highs. So I'll just draw. How do I know that? An ascending channel. There it is. So it's a little messy,
Messy one.
It's a
though.
little messy. Yeah, when you and like after like I've drawn these patterns, I don't even know. I can't keep track. But you see them like if I delete it, you could still see it. because I drew it, you can see, okay, so it's creating this ascending channel pattern on the daily. So that's sometimes I don't even draw the patterns in, but it's all these charts are your canvas. You could draw and do whatever you want on these charts. That makes it easier for you. Kiwi USD, I like this one, or the New Zealand dollar USD. It would be a quick play to the upside. But again, the thing about this is we are in an overall uh, bear trend right now, and so it'd be a counter move. It'd be a reversal, and usually for me, these reversal type plays, they can be lucrative, but they're short lived as well. And you could also for my probability, I lose more when I go on reversals. And then finally, we already covered Euro USD. This would be a short play to the upside, targeting 1.03480. So right here, 445, that area, because this is a dynamic um, target, so it'll change in time depending on the market condition. But I like this bullish. I mean, look at that. What is it? Yesterday, 3 o'clock,
Strong
just
move.
skyrocketed right on. Is that three? Oh, between 3 and 7. There you go. So
Yeah.
3, then 7. So I like it. Hour making higher highs, breaking above my EMAs, crossover. We're good. Like this is a nice bull run right here. So this is probably this and Euro Odd are my two ones that I'll be watching tonight. But this one will be a quick target. You know, we'll see how much that is this even worth it, as far as probability goes. Like that's really tight, honestly. So I may not even place this trade. I don't like that. I want to see a 3-to-1,
Boom.
or 2-to-1. This is too small for my
I
liking.
wanted to add, especially with like the Euro USD or the Pound USD, on the technical stance, it's been in a bear trend, yeah.
Yeah.
And only recently, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, where the Prime Minister Boris Johnson resigned, or he got booted or whatever.
Yeah, good point.
And so the move was already happening in the market if you were just paying attention to price. The news or headline, is a catalyst, the way I see it sometimes. It usually isn't the start of the move. If you were just waiting on the news and then you take a peek at the Euro USD, you already see that it has been moving down.
Yeah. So like, what are you trying to say? Like it's this bull run, it was based off of his leaving, or that we could see that it's kind of exhausted, like the bear run's been exhausted, now it's time to recover a little bit, or like.
Yeah, I feel like as far as this bull run, it's probably just a natural movement of the market.
Yeah.
Like the bigger trend is bearish, and what I was looking at or seeing was, hey, we might touch this bullish run, might touch the previous support, turn into resistance, and then come back down. That'll be plan A. And that'll be, you put those in your mind or start formulating those thesis, and then put it to test, right? You're gonna have your stop in there, your stop loss at a certain percentage. You're not gonna risk it all, obviously. You can have a limited loss if you were to incur that, and then you have a profit target, or if not, then you have a expectation on where the market could possibly move to, if you were to short it or to go catch that move up, that bullish run. And I guess what I was saying was that it kind of shows you the difference between the fundamental news, and the technicals. That whole, like, I'm sure that wasn't just the initial influence on price was the prime minister leaving, but it has an effect, on the economy, and the government. So that's something that I wanted to point out, as far as price and technical, and just looking at the charts, and making sense of it. Making sense of it is a big thing, man. Like you were saying, just experience without even, you could see the ascending channel without even drawing it. That's the experience. That's the screen time. That's what we encourage all of you guys to just continue to do. Put in that work, little bit at a time, bite size, consistent. You know, if you're able to just take out a few hours of your week, just do a little bit of chart time, then you should be on your way. You know, they say you need what 10,000 hours to become an expert in doing something. Might be right, right? People have different learning speeds and learning styles, so definitely something to look at. And eventually, you'll be at a good point where you can just see the chart and say yes or no. If there's opportunity, yes. If there's no opportunity, no. Next chart.
Absolute, man. I can't believe it's 8 already. That hour,
That came
that
out.
hour went by real fast.
Was
One
this?
thing, like, last thing I want to say is, speaking of like hours and times. So when I first started trading, I always like ran out of time throughout the day. So I found myself waking up an hour before my day started, and actually I took the hour to back test in my beginning phases of my journey. But now it's like a habit to just wake up. I won't even look at the charts now. I'll just wake up early. So I mean, that's just something. If you feel like you don't have enough time throughout the day, wake up an hour early.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easier said
160,
than done.
168 hours in a week. You know, you take away the 40 hours if you're at a job, you still got 128 hours. Take away time for sleeping, you still got a bunch of time. So that's something a new perspective that I've learned over the years of just really everyone has the same 24 hours in a way. You know,
Yeah. Good call. Yeah. On
was
point.
this valuable, guys? Good, good. Did you?
It's
Was there
valuable for
anything
me.
you would like to see us go over on these calls?
I like to go over journaling more for myself. Help me be accountable.
No, that's good. No, that's a key. That's a key part of this whole process. Sweet man. Well,
Stuff. I
yeah.
think we could wind it down, wind it up.
Yep. Yep. I know we're 3 minutes past. You know, this one went by fast. Yeah. Thanks for joining in, guys. It was just great hearing all of you. Hope this was of value tonight. And we're going to be continuing these calls throughout this month. And yeah, have a great night. If you have any questions, feel free to just hit us up. You know where, Mighty Networks. Other than that, have a great night, guys.
Aloha, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.